we've had several conventions, and so I was doing a lot of major returns, and unfortunately when I did the returns I put her boxes with those and it got sent back to one of the publishers. So I don't have any copies of the books with me today. So what we have is we made up this coupon, and if you want to buy one, just fill out your information. You can pay for it now. If you want to come by, pick it up later, have it shipped to you. We're not going to charge for shipping. You just fill out the information, and on the back you can write in whatever you want her to write in the book for you. She'll come by and sign it later on. But so sorry about that, but it'll be about a week or so before you get them. But we hope you enjoy the presentation. And Teresa is here as our events coordinator, so she will get things started. Thank you very much.
So I wanted to welcome you today. We are honoring Dr. Hashmi. She is an author, an award-winning entrepreneur, speaker, educator. She's also a book, movie, makeup, and beauty products review. Among all of her accomplishments, Dr. Hashmi is also a film critic, a radio and television show host, as well as a successful regulatory and business development and scientific professional with more than a decade of experience. We welcome all of you. Thank you for joining us today. And we welcome you, Dr. Hashmi. Thank you for joining us today. And today we are going to be discussing Dr. Hashmi's book, The Modern Mughal Mentality. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming today for my book talk. And I want to thank Patrick Darby for hosting me today at his wonderful bookstore. And thank you, everyone, for coming today. And first of all, in my book talk, I'll talk about how this book was born. So I will read the introduction, and then I'll tell you about the business model, the Jugaad management business model, which is making waves on Amazon because this was hot new release for 3 days at Amazon, and then it was #1 Amazon best seller. It was one of the bestseller books. So without wasting any time, I'll read the introduction from the book, and you'll know how this book came about. And questions I will take after that. My story: how the modern Mughal mentality, new strategies to succeed in India and the global marketplace came to be. I start with the quote of Mahatma Gandhi, and I quote, "Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony." Mahatma Gandhi, and I unquote. Second is the quote from Martin Luther King Jr., and it is, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." And I unquote. And now I start my introduction. Dear readers, being the granddaughter of the renowned freedom fighter and thinker of India, Professor Abdul Halim, Mahatma Gandhi has always inspired me. I have been raised by learning about Mahatma Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Martin Luther King Jr., Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Maulana Azad, and other personalities of the world. I met Mrs. Indira Gandhi many times while growing up in India and admired her a lot. My maternal grandfather, my mom, Mrs. Jamila Siddiqui, and my dad, Professor A. Majid Siddiqui, influenced me a lot and instilled in me the quality of communication through the medium of writing. My mom, who recently left for her heavenly abode, always encouraged me to bring this book to Fruiton as soon as possible. Grandpa, Mom, and Dad were all an institution of themselves, renowned scholars, philanthropists, and great champions of the underprivileged as well as female empowerment. So bringing this book out into the world will be a great tribute to my 3 first mentors and teachers in my life, my maternal grandpa and my parents. I am also a great advocate of philanthropy, female empowerment, and the underprivileged. It is my dream to practice as much philanthropy as possible as well as empower every underprivileged person in my reach to achieve great heights. In keeping with these goals, a certain percentage of my book sales will go towards further growth of the underprivileged. Thanks a lot, readers, for buying this book and helping me in this mission. I pray that God Almighty will make this book so helpful and useful to lots of people. The main aim of writing this book is to put it in the hands of every person living on this earth. Amen. I love to write and have been a writer and a speaker all my life, also including motivational speeches. Not a single day has passed since I started writing in my childhood that I haven't written something. Writing is like a prayer and meditation for me. My first writing was published when I was 8 years old. My first speaking engagement was when I was 10 years old. When I left India for the United States, my father told me that I was fulfilling my destiny and both of their dreams. He wanted his only daughter Raksha to write a book in America that would not only demonstrate her knowledge but change the world. With tall orders to follow, I immediately embraced his dream and imagined myself becoming the ultimate authority for American business travelers to India. For the past several years, I have been working on this dream. My friends and clients call me America's India expert, and I love them calling me by this name. I have an amazingly diverse career with extensive media experience and have reached more than 1 billion people via print, TV, and online. I am an expert in innovative and value creation market entry strategies for corporations. I have discovered that India's economy flourishes because its businesses think big, they don't let obstacles overcome their visions, get creative, ingenuity is used to transform limitations, maximize resources in every possible manner, know their customers, think favorably of change, provide high social value to their clients, are driven by dreams of grandeur. Born in India and educated both in India and the US, I often felt frustrated with the lack of relevant information essential to doing business successfully in the Indian marketplace. Throughout my career, I witnessed how various low budget, easy to implement Indian strategies can benefit global companies. It is for this reason that I decided to create a book that fills the voids and guides Western corporations to achieve their goals in India and beyond. Today, India is a rising giant and now known to be one of the fastest growing economies in the world. For the full fiscal year 2014-2015, the Indian government estimated that the economy would expand 7.4%. This represents a significant acceleration over the revised 6.9% increase for the fiscal year 2013-2014, previously reported 5.8%. The Indian government revised the previous data series to reflect new methodology and a change in the base year. Thus, I saw the potential and timeliness of the project. Even though my inspiration was India, I knew that my business philosophies would translate well not only in my own consulting business to help my clients, but I began to see a correlation between the way that I had constantly applied Jugaad in my business practices and my high level of achievement. I seemed to excel at whatever I did. I believe that interpreting my business philosophies could fill a void in the current business manual market. I started to notice examples of Jugaad in all sectors in my daily life in the United States. Finally, I decided there should be a template for all companies to improve their bottom lines. This led me to create the Jugaad Management Principle, a new business model which can inspire out of the box thinking and innovative strategies to stay ahead in today's market. As I worked on the book, I began to implement the new business model and witnessed the transformation of many businesses. I believe that the flourishing Indian economy is due to both Jugaad and a striving for greatness that modern Indians inherited from their Mughal influenced history. Thus, I named my book The Modern Mughal Mentality, which can be defined as fusing lofty ambitions with practical and innovative ways of maximizing resources to achieve your objectives. Linking Mughal emperors to modern business giants is nothing new. The Mughal emperors of India believed that a good name for kings is achieved through lofty buildings. Like their architecture, their business legacy was also known to be one of the greatest in the world, an indicator of their powerful civilization. Eventually, the word Mughal, which was the Arabic pronunciation of the word Mongol, morphed into the word Mughal in the English language and is still used to describe a very successful and wealthy businessman. I have always been fascinated by Mughal dynasty and have studied it very deeply. For the first time ever in this book, Mughal dynasty has been linked with Jugaad, obtaining your objectives by maximizing resources through thinking out of the box. Here are some examples from thousands in history of Mughal dynasty to prove this concept, and hence the name of the book has been justified further. Adversity made Mughal Emperor Babur wiser. He was the first to introduce muskets and cannons into the battlefield, which gave him crucial advantage in conquering India with a small army. Babur, a seasoned military commander, entered India in 1526 with his well-trained army of 12,000 to defeat Ibrahim Lodi's force of more than 100,000 men. Babur employed gun carts, movable artillery, and superior cavalry tactics. When Emperor Humayun took refuge with Shah Tahmasp, the Safavid ruler in Iran, Humayun accepted the Shia faith in order to keep himself and several other followers alive. Also, this action made Shah Tahmasp friendlier with Humayun, and he agreed to underwrite Humayun's attempt to regain power. With fresh troops and funds, Humayun seized Kandahar and then Kabul. From Kabul, Humayun turned to duplicate his father's conquest of northern India. To prevent unrest in the Mughal Empire, Humayun's death was not announced for a couple of weeks while preparation was going on to make Akbar the emperor, and one mullah Bekasi was made to resemble Emperor Humayun and present to the public every morning till Akbar was ready to be crowned emperor. Biram Khan, who was appointed Akbar's guardian, governed for time being, as after Humayun's death the situation was very complex for a boy king Akbar to handle it. Akbar gave him authority to rule, which is also depicting Jugaad. Akbar married the princess of Amber and many other Hindu Rajput princesses, and the princesses practiced their religion after marriage also. Such alliances came from the Hindu Rajas, kings, and they had lot to gain politically from this alliance. Akbar abolished the tax on non-Muslims and allowed marriages between Hindu Rajputs and Mughal aristocracy. Akbar allowed temples to be built in his reign and celebrated Hindu festivals such as Diwali. Akbar, by using the influence of local landlords to collect revenue and transfer to treasury, made maximum profits for his kingdom. Local landlords were paid a percentage of the services rendered. Thus, it depicts Jugaad in action by Emperor Akbar. Akbar gave high posts to Rajputs in his army and government, and they helped him expand his kingdom. He brought most of India under his control through conquest and alliances. Jahangir instituted a gold change in his chamber connected with bells to hear petitions of his kingdom's subject. Anybody could pull those bells to summon Emperor Jahangir to hear their grievances. This gesture made Jahangir immensely popular in his kingdom. Emperor Jahangir abolished the practice whereby the property of the deceased would go to the higher heir instead of state. If somebody was without heir, then the property would go in the building and repair of education and religious centers. During his reign, lot of state-owned medical centers and dispensaries were made. He abolished the barbarous punishments. Shah Jahan's demeanor, dress, and jewels were all designed to portray his grandeur and magnificence, a role that he had chosen for himself to be the great Mughal. When famine broke in Emperor Jahangir's reign, state kingdoms were open to serve his affected subjects in the kingdom. Besides this, monetary help was provided. This gesture also made him gain control of some Deccan provinces. Shah Jahan was always fully aware of the sufferings of his subjects, which gave him immense popularity, respect, and admiration. Portuguese tyranny was over during his reign, and 10,000 inhabitants of the country who were prisoners were liberated. Shah Jahan built Taj Mahal in memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal. His reign is rendered memorable in history for the excellence of its architecture. Noor Jahan, wife of Jahangir, and Mumtaz Mahal, wife of Shah Jahan, were right hands of their respective husbands, and both were very popular with their subjects as they both loved charity. Noor Jahan had very high aesthetic taste and loved fashion, and even today fashion in India is influenced by her style. She even invented rose scent, and that technique to prepare it is used even today in modern India. During the reign of Emperor Aurangzeb, the Deccan provinces attained high level of prosperity by the wonderful reforms he made. Aurangzeb possessed superior military tactics that outdistanced his rivals in war. I also decided to take the idea a step further to give success stories of how the theory is implemented successfully in India and internationally. By giving numerous examples in various sectors and continents, readers will be inspired to take similar steps to realize their goals. Drawing from my extensive personal international business experience, I began to outline possible prospects and future opportunities for growth in many sectors around the world. For those who are looking to expand, my goal is that everyone from the neighborhood florist to a multinational corporation or an entrepreneur can benefit from the modern Mughal mentality. So this was the introduction, and now it would be clear that how modern Mughal mentality came to be. Now the spinal cord of modern mentality, the modern Mughal mentality is this business model. So this is Jugaad. Jugaad gives inspiration which leads to business maneuvering and which gives unsystematic innovation and systematic innovation. So the beauty of this model is this, that the Indian way of thinking has been linked to the Western way of thinking, and it gives unsystematic innovation and systematic innovation. And then these are the well-known business terms known in the world. So it gives creative improvisation, globalization, competitive advantage, reverse outsourcing, acquisitions, frugal innovation, and reverse outsourcing. Then this figure 1A gives attaining your business goals and objectives, and it gives success. So why people are liking this model is because they can now comprehend, although many books are written on this subject of Jugaad, but people are liking this because they know that the Indian way can be correlated to the Western way of thinking, and it is very easy to understand that. I'll give you some examples of the kind of case studies which I have given as examples in this book. Creative improvisation, improving a technique or process through creativity or innovation. This can result in the invention of new thought patterns, new practices, and or new ways to accomplish a task and or business goal or objective. One of the success stories of Hindustan Unilever Limited in India can be attributed to its adaptation to the creative improvisation concept. Unilever is one of the world's leading suppliers of fast moving consumer goods. Its subsidiary in India, Hindustan Unilever Limited, which is also known as Hull, brand, touches the lives of 2 out of 3 Indians. Unilever has about 52% shareholding in Hull. Water is a major concern across the Indian subcontinent, with running water through the day not available in most households. Rinsing clothes is the most water and time consuming part of the hand washing process. In India, laundry detergent is used mostly for hand washing. Surf Excel Quick Wash was launched with a low lather formulation by Hull in India. Surf Excel Quick Wash can deliver a good lather at the washing stage and reduce the need for the rinsing, saving 2 bucketfuls of water per wash. Hull supported the launch of Surf Excel Quick Wash with an advertising campaign that promotes the message that consumers can have cleaner clothes with less lather, with the aim of helping to reduce the water used in washing even more in the future. When Hull's advertising campaign highlighted the fact that the decreased amount of lather would help save water, it became extremely popular. This example demonstrates how improving a technique through creativity or creative improvisation led to another successful product. Now, the second example I'm giving is why McDonald's is so successful in India, and it is attributed to the concept of localization, which comes from two words, globalization and localization. It refers to adapting techniques to local condition. A product is more likely to become successful when the product is adapted specifically to each geographic region or culture it is marketed in. The success of McDonald's in India can be attributed to its adaptation of the Indian menu or globalization. India's main religion is Hinduism, and about 82% of the population is Hindu. Cows are considered holy by Hindus. For Hindus, cows represent fertility and nurturing. The Indian population is roughly 12% Muslims. Muslims have a taboo regarding pork and pig's skin products and do not eat pork products. The majority of Indians are vegetarian. McDonald's has developed a menu specially for India with vegetarian selections to suit Indian tastes and preferences. McDonald's does not offer any beef or pork items in India. The challenge was to change the form of the worldwide popular hamburger to make an entry into India. The population of a billion was undoubtedly a promising opportunity for McDonald's. Realizing that an alternative to beef and pork was necessary, McDonald's accepted the challenge and created the Mac Aloo Tikki burger, known as Mac Aloo Tikki, especially for the Indian vegetarian customers. Aloo tikki is a potato patty with spices. McDonald's ensures that vegetarian products are 100% vegetarian. The company even developed vegan mayonnaise especially for Indian consumers, and their soft serve ice creams are 100% vegetarian. McDonald's make great efforts to ensure that the vegetarian products are segregated from the non-vegetarian products from the moment they are stored in the suppliers until they are served to the customers. Creating a popular vegetarian version of the famous hamburger was indeed a classic case of product adaptation used to gain a foothold in a new market. In addition to complying with dietary sensitivities of its target market, McDonald's also addressed the price sensitivity of the Indian consumer market with its value meal. In order to expand their product line, McDonald's made a chicken and fish option available for the non-vegetarians. McDonald's understood India's cultural values and attitudes and embedded them into their business plan. Jugaad seems to be at its best when confronted with a problem that needs immediate, quick improvisation. The problem that the cow is considered holy by Hindus and the pork cannot be eaten by Muslims made two of McDonald's primary ingredients off limits. Creating new culturally appealing alternatives and vegetarian items in India was a very good quick fix for the problem. This is a great example of Jugaad inspired globalization, where genius and innovative thinking fueled by religious sensitivity to Indian consumers led to a quick fix for the Indian menu and enabled McDonald's to attain their objectives of being successful in India. So these are some of the examples from the Indian companies or American or international companies being successful in India. Then there is international examples, and then there is some future examples that how this Jugaad principle works, and then there are some modern Mughal mentality exercises to practice this concept, and I will read an international example. Armani, Delhi, excellent example of globalization in UAE. One of my favorite examples of globalization exists in Dubai, UAE. The Armani Deli, located in the Armani Hotel in the Burj Khalifa Towers, is known for serving innovative Italian food. Giorgio Armani himself designed the Armani Hotel residences. Here in the Armani Hotel, you can experience the same hospitality that Giorgio Armani extends to his family and friends. The deli began offering a Friday brunch buffet. This is a highly atypical of an Italian restaurant. Italians are not very fond of brunch or buffet and typically do not offer them in their restaurants in Italy, in the Middle East, especially in Dubai, where restaurants are an important part of the culture. However, the Friday brunch buffet has become a ritual on the day of rest, much like Sunday brunch has in the United States. In a very smart move, the Armani Deli now combines Italian style and cuisine with the local love of brunch and buffet. So this is all.
Very good.
Questions?
So, how can you define jugaad for us at a very high level? What is the meaning of jugaad?
Jugaad is an Indian term and there are many definitions of jugaad, but I have conceptualized jugaad as attaining your objectives by thinking out of the box. So the whole key concept is that you don't have to keep the tunnel thinking, which the Western world has it. You have to have a broader thinking, like if you are stuck in a business thing like how McDonald did it, and there is a Pizza Hut story also here. So how all these companies, when McDonald went to India, as I read, like the cow and pigs, that was the problem there, and hamburger is the main ingredient, main product of McDonald's. So how McDonald came up with the plan, they thought out of the box. And there is a Pizza Hut story that how Pizza Hut, like there was a problem in India, like the Indians, they used to throw away the crust, and so they came up with a model where they inside the crust they had those vegetarian products, or the chicken products and all that. So it basically gives companies that the secret formula that why India is so successful and thinking about the Indian way, thinking out of the box, can be a very successful thing.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I was curious about the word mentality.
Okay.
Is it used in a very positive sense?
Yes.
It looks like it.
Yes. I didn't want actually.
And relating that to Mughal.
Yes,
can you throw
yes.
some light on that?
Actually, I didn't want to. I mean, that was something my thing. I didn't want my book to be named as Jugaad Mentality. So I thought about it and I said, hey, like Mughals were very successful, and Mughal were like even today. Like how MOGUL is the Mughal thing, so which is described to say about a very successful businessman, So that's how I came up there. Like Mughal, MUGHAL is the Arabic pronunciation of MOGHUL. So that's how I came up with this, the modern Mughal mentality.
Does your book mention any women, successful women businessmen?
What?
Any women you have cited in your book those who have done well in their business?
No, it is just about companies.
About companies.
Yes. The examples are all about companies, and then like one chapter is about the Indian companies, then there is world companies, that how this because it was very important, in this Western world to show that this mentality can be transcribed from India to the Western world. So because this book has audience, all kinds of audience, so it was very interesting, to show companies which are doing Jugaad model. And then there is like how another chapter is like how future opportunities, so that with that the people can read it and they can say, okay, so this is how it can be implemented. And then there is modern Mughal mentality exercises.
So you publishing this in India, because the businessmen there may
Yes.
also be interested in that.
Yes, it is distributed worldwide. It's already selling in
But are
India.
you publicizing it in India?
Uh,
People know
yes.
about it, business people in India?
Yes, they know about it.
Jugaad is a Sanskrit word or?
It's a Hindi Punjabi word.
What does it mean literally?
Huh?
What does it mean literally, Jugaad?
Nobody knows what it literally means. It's a Hindi colloquial word.
I see.
I thought it was making connection between people or something.
Yes. There are so many definitions of jugaad.
Jugaad is how you interact with other
Yes,
people to
yes.
make it.
There are thousands of definitions of jugaad. But I have conceptualized this way, thinking out of the box.
What inspired you to write on this particular topic?
Because I wanted to do, like I had a company, so I was taking American delegations to India, so I knew Indian business ins and out. And I felt that there was a need for this kind of a book. So that's why I wrote this. My second book will be a science fiction.
Oh, okay. That's nice.
You said you had a company, so didn't you follow the Jugaad model?
Yes, I followed it and many practices. I told you, like in my everyday life, yeah. Any more questions?
How far your Mr. Hashmi has been helpful?
He has been very helpful, because without his help, this project would not have seen the light of the day.
He's the host.
Yeah.
Hospitality.
And this is who is it dedicated to in the book?
My parents and my maternal grandpa. Yeah, because I dedicate all my knowledge to all those three people who have carved me. So it's already a bestseller on Amazon. And then I've been to many talk shows, and from tomorrow my blog tours are starting. So I'm going for 1.5 months, on blog tours. And then 20th is the Twitter party, where people from all around the world will be logged in, and they will be hashtagging through the Modern Mughal Mentality. And I'm going to a lot of talk shows. So somebody suggested me, I went to a Michael Grasser talk show, and he suggested me that I should take these books to in American schools, and I should teach them Jugaad. Because he asked me at what point it was a very interesting question, that at what point in their life that India comes to know about Jugaad, but nobody knows that and no research has been done in it. So he said it would be very interesting to go and talk about Jugaad in American schools. So I will do that. And my book, it will be, Maryland has chosen, yes, this is important. State of Maryland has chosen my book to be displayed in the National Book Festival, which is on September 5th. So all of you are welcome there, because only 1 or 2 books are chosen each year. So I'm lucky enough, so they've chosen my book to be displayed at the Maryland Pavilion in the National Book Festival.
Excellent.
So now it has become Amazon bestseller, so I am keeping my fingers crossed for New York Times bestseller. And that is the Oscars. I don't know whether I will achieve that Oscars with this book or next book or any time.
So what will be the part of celebration of your success?
Huh?
Will Mr. Hashmi host a party for you?
Yes,
or for us?
yes, Mr. Hashmi will host a party after I get my sales report in October.
It's just wait.
Any more questions?
Yeah, I have 2 questions. So one question is, when you were writing this book, I mean, how did you go about writing a book? Did you, like every day, set aside 4 hours to write the book? And how long it took you?
It took me 7 years full time to write this book because
7 years?
yes.
7 years?
Yes, full time 7 years to write this book. So full time 7 years.
Wow.
Because there was lot of research, lot of research, because there are so many companies, like sometimes I would not find examples, so I had to do lot of research, so it took me 7 years to do that. But my next book will not take 7 years and it was a new process for me too.
And I want to build on the previous question which your uncle had. How did you apply it in your own business? Can you give us an example of real life?
Yeah, there is one example here. Actually, I took an American delegation to India. So once I was just a part of the delegation. I was not arranging meetings for them or anything. So once we reached the office, and there were CEOs, I think 100 CEOs, and once we reached the office, the person they were supposed to meet had already left for some other priority. So the company which was contracted to take that business delegation contacted me. I just happened to be in India, so I just joined them. So, but at that point I was not there. It was 9 a.m. in the morning, and he contacted me that 100 CEOs are here, and they were high level CEOs like Boeing CEO and all those level CEOs, and the person we are supposed to contact is not here. So I had the cell number of that person they were supposed to meet, so I called him. So he said, you guys just wait there and we will come in 2 hours or so. So we all waited there and we got that meeting and then another meeting. So this is what Jugaad is.
Well, I think I missed the beginning parts, so I'm sorry, but that's too bad for me. But I may at least ask one general question.
Yes.
Let's say just an average American citizen who wants to do, he or she wants to do business in India, how they can benefit with this book?
Oh, because they will know what is the ins and out of India. There are so many strategies laid out here, So once you read the book, you will find there are many strategies laid out here with examples like McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Arvind Eye Care. There are so many, Tata, So there are so many examples they can learn from.
Yeah, but Tata is a big company, so the big national companies or multinational companies, they can do business very well with them. But I'm talking about an individual, just one little guy, mom and pop type person.
Yes, they can learn, because examples are cited not only from big companies but medium companies and small companies. My idea is that everybody from a florist to an individual businessman or a small entrepreneur who's even thinking about doing business can learn from it. And there are many reviews on Amazon. You can read how people are getting benefited from this book.
And you have to read the book first. Right?
Yes. The key is that you have to read the book.
And we can buy the book from Amazon?
Yeah, you can buy, but as a respect to Patrick,
I tell him it will be a signed copy.
Yes, it will be a signed copy. In Amazon, if you buy, until and unless you bring it to me, it won't be a signed copy. But here, if you buy, it will be a signed copy.